greatest country on earth, and there's no challenge that American ingenuity cannot overcome. But when it comes to the strategic competition with China, America is in a far more fragile position than most Americans realize. And China is a far more formidable rival than most realize. And so there's a sense in which we've been lulled by our superpower status into a false sense of security. And I want to ask about a few areas, starting with critical minerals. Dr. Campbell, do you agree that critical minerals and rare earths are central to the defense and decarbonization of the United States?
Yes.
Which country controls almost all of the world's rare earth mining?
China, and as you understand, I know it's not just the...
Well, you're anticipating my next question. Which country controls almost all of the critical mineral processing and refining?
China.
Do you think the United States is in a position to deter a foreign adversary who has a chokehold on the core components of our military defense?
Makes it that much more challenging at this moment.
Let's speak about the future of war. Do you agree that the future of warfare is autonomous?
I believe that will be an important element, yes.
Which country is leading when it comes to drones?
China is formidable. The United States also has capabilities as well.
But who can manufacture at scale?
China.
And scale matters in a war.
It does.
Which country is leading when it comes to robotics?
China, again, has formidable advantages here.
The U.S. has spent trillions of dollars on large legacy systems. Can you imagine a world where those large legacy systems are easily shot down by a swarm of autonomous systems?
Yes.
Let's go to shipbuilding. During World War II, the United States emerged as the arsenal of democracy, building a total 270,000 vessels, including 2,700 Liberty ships in just 4 years. Which country is leading at the moment when it comes to shipbuilding?
China dwarfs us both in commercial and military shipbuilding.
And the former Secretary of the Navy would agree with you. He said that one Chinese shipyard has more capacity than all of our ships combined. China's shipbuilding capacity is over 23 million deadweight tons. The United States, less than 100,000 deadweight tons. The difference is a multiple of 230. Do you think the United States is in a position to deter a country that has 230 times more shipbuilding capacity than we do?
I think over the long term that becomes more challenging, yes.
Energy, the future of energy. Solar is emerging as the dominant driver of new energy generation. Who is the leader in solar?
China.
And China not only has an advantage in a single stage of production, it dominates the whole supply chain for solar energy. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm not really sure what my role here is, just to say yes.
No.
All right. But that's, I think the point that you're making.
Yeah. But I'm going to summarize, and then I'm going to ask each of you to...
All right.
So, but because I think it's important, the depth of America's vulnerability is poorly understood, even here in Congress, I feel. But China controls the critical minerals core to America's defense and decarbonization. It has 230 times more shipbuilding capacity than we do. It is so far dominating the autonomous future of warfare, and it is so far dominating the future of energy. You can give a much longer answer now. Is it fair to say, and I will ask this question of each of you, is it fair to say that we are catastrophically unprepared for strategic competition with China?
So I think the point that you made in any comparison between the United States and China has substantial advantages in a number of areas. You didn't talk as much about technology, which I think is the key area that we have to worry about. You also touched a little bit on manufacturing.
We're slightly ahead in AI.
Well, I would just simply say, if you look at the critical technologies, AI, 5G, synthetic biology, and robotics, and look at where they came from 10 or 15 years ago and where we are today, I think even if we have a couple of months lead in a few areas, you got to be concerned. And so I think the general picture that you're painting is accurate. What we often hear right now are folks that point to a couple of weaknesses in China's overall approach: aging economy, indebtedness. The truth is China has substantial capacities that we're going to have to deal with, and ultimately they do have significant advantages in a number of areas that are going to be critical. So I'm completely aligned with you on.
Although speaking of indebtedness, we, the United States, are presently spending more on debt service than we are on our national defense.
Yeah.